What's up, kind people of YouTube? My name's Ahmed and welcome back to yet another video. Today, I want to talk about this show that I watched on Hotstar. It was really fun to watch because of the premise of the show. So, let's put this into perspective. There's a journalist who can talk ghosts and she's writing the obituaries of the ghosts that she meets. Interesting premise, and I loved how they used that premise to create a wonderful show and how she's able to work through it. Gina Rodriguez, who comes back after a 5-year relationship back to her hometown and tries to find her way back as a journalist, and how she does that. One of the biggest reasons why this show works so well, in my opinion, is because one, the perspective of the show is very different. The structure of the show is very different. A journalist writing obituaries of the people she can talk to, very unique perspective, and that's what kept me hooked onto the show from the beginning. Secondly, the fact that she can see ghosts and nobody else can see ghosts in that show, and the ghosts are not scary. Like, it's not a horror show, it's a comedy. So how are you indulging in ghosts in a show like that? That's what makes it different. That's what makes the show stand out. And there are a lot of different emotions that go through when you're watching a show like that. There are a lot of things that you can discuss. There are a lot of unfulfilled desires, and how does she make friends around her, and how she's able to deal with a lot of the emotions that she's dealing with, and a lot of the advice she gets from the ghost end up helping her as a person as well. So all of these put together make a very interesting, unique character arc for the main lead of the show, and that's what makes the show so much more fun. Sometimes you'll watch a show or a movie because it's fun to watch, and essentially that's what this show is, right? It's fun to watch and you're able to enjoy the show for what it is, even if it's very unique and different from a lot of the other shows that I've seen. Now, there are a lot of things that I felt the show is not, and it's not a serious watch. You can probably binge watch it in a day or two. I watched it over a day. Like, there are some 12-15 episodes for 30 to 40 minutes each, and I ended up watching it in a day or two, and that is something that interested me in watching the show. I never set out to watch the show, but that's what made the show so much more approachable for me. Story is structured really well. The characters are so unique and well done, and every character has their quirks and different quirks, even like to a point where I'm like, yeah, this is the kind of character that they are, and that kind of makes the show different from the other shows that I've seen so far. Even though a lot of the comedies tend to miss out on character depths and they kind of misrepresent the kind of people that they are, but this show does not. There's a lot of good setups for the office. There's a lot of payoff for each of the characters. The story moves forward really well. It's a typical American drama, so there are a lot of cliches that are in the show, and how the cliches are dealt with. Will she go back to her ex? Does her ex win her over? That's one of the cliches that's involved in the show, but that kind of gets resolved by the end of season 1. So I think a lot of people will enjoy this show, and it's probably, for a lot of people, it's more of a family drama than anything else, and I think that's the premise for the show. That's the whole concept for the show, and the reason why I think the show does better than I expected it to do is because of how it approaches almost everybody. All people of all ages will enjoy this show, so they've understood that, and that's kind of the humor that they bring into the show. People working will enjoy this show a little more than people who are in the schools, so that is another aspect for the show. Overall, I would recommend you watch this show. It's a fun show. It's something that you probably will not think about twice, and you'll probably go back and binge watch it a couple of times. I've done that already a few times. So yeah, overall, I had a lot of fun watching this show. I would recommend you watch this show as well. I would give it a solid 6 out of 10 because I feel that this show could have been better. That is why. It could have been shorter episodes with a lot more comedy, and that would have made this show stand out beyond imagination. Anyway, peace. That's been my time, and see you in the next one. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button.